Upton.
Here.
Item 3, consent agenda. All of the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any member wishes to consider an item separately. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. A, minutes. 1, July 13th, 2015, regular board meeting. 2, July 28th, 2015, special board meeting. B, financial reports. 1, activity accounts. 2, treasurer's report. C, encumbrances and changes in the following funds. 1, general fund, fiscal year 16, number 1120 through 1227, and number 50,026 through 50,283. 2, building fund, fiscal year 16, number 17 through 20. 3, child nutrition, fiscal year 16, number 27, and number 50,000 through 50,005. D, fundraisers. E, resignations. 1, Pamela Baker. 2, Kenneth Crawford. 3, Amy Hunt. 4, Jessica Mitchell. And F, contracts, which we have none.
And the minutes on A2 are the corrected minutes that were submitted, so they're kind of amended minutes.
Right.
Great. And I had a question on one of the fundraisers, Mr. Weldon, and did not think to ask it this afternoon, on the paint your spot, selling parking spots for students to paint.
That's something the student council approached Mr. Osmer about to, actually, those students will, they'll purchase a parking spot, and there's different prices depending on the location in the parking lot. Those students will be allowed to paint their logo, whatever they want inside of that parking spot. It's theirs for the year. But that drawing or painting has to be approved by the administration before they're allowed to do that. At the end of the year, they'll be given an option. If they're an underclassman, if they want to repurchase that, they can. If not, they'll be given some black paint and it'll be painted over.
And when the black paint, if the black paint is painted over it, and this will be at the parking lot
Yes.
at the call center?
Right.
And this is something that's fine with the College Foundation? Okay.
It's going to cover it completely, so we're going to make sure it's covered to the point where you can't tell anything's been there.
Okay, great.
Would anyone like to consider an item separately? If not, do I have a motion?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
And I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy,
Yes.
Zach Cadenhead,
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier,
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Nikki Upton.
Yes.
Item number 4, introduction of guests and give audience to those who signed up to address the board. Mr. Chuck?
Thank you. I believe that Mr. Mark Phelps, your attorney, has provided you copies of letters that I have sent him in recent days, recent months. Most recently, asking for use of the Pleasant Grove Auditorium for purposes of a Labor Day program on the 7th. Labor Day, of course, is a holiday. You'll be off from work, and the whole idea is to honor and represent those who were, through an awful lot of practice, sacrifice, made available to some of the rights and privileges that we recognize today in the labor market. I asked that the matter be formally acted upon by this board. He provided me a letter indicated that you would disapprove it. So I want to take that you're not get into it. Is that disapproval? Nevertheless, let me say something in behalf of labor. I had probably 10 years or more of formal education after I left high school. There was only one course in that whole period. It was a course in small business management at OCU, Oklahoma State University, that even got to the nitty-gritty of what self-employment was all about. In other words, all the education I ever received in public education going to college was preparing me to be an employee. Therefore, it appears that this process must begin much earlier than college, and since our kids, by the time they're teenagers, expect to get into it, they need to have some background in it. In our proposed program that I provided to Mr. Phelps, I did have the idea that we ought to teach them some music pertaining to this ethic of work. The particular song we had in mind was, "The world has need of willing men who wear the worker's seal. Come, help the good work move along. Put your shoulder to the wheel." I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But we all have work. Let no one shirk. Put your shoulder to the wheel. And that was the ethic by which our forebears brought this about. Last Saturday, in a Lawrence Welk program, and obviously the people who come to attend him have some special interest in music. They did it was a patriotic program, and they did what's normally done at Washington, D.C. and elsewhere. The playing of the 5 service songs, inviting members who served during that, in one of those services, to arise when their song is being sung and to sing along. I watched those singing, and there was only one song where everybody sang. Everybody else kind of didn't know what they were doing. What song do you think that was? It was the Marines' hymn. And that's what we learned when I started at public school in 1943. We sang those songs and learned all the words up to the 50s somehow. We even sang the national anthem. I dare say if you were to have the national anthem sung, not by a soloist, but by the crowd, you'd have a similar experience. There are some very vital messages in those words. I think of the hymn, "America the Beautiful." Every time I see on TV this altercation between law enforcement and the black people, and somebody gets shot, I think of the third verse of "America the Beautiful." It says, "Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life." And that was written to dedicate those boys who would rather take a bullet than kill a fellow human being. And that should not be lost. And when you hear me wanting to honor them and our alumni who were war dead on Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Independence Day, and so forth, that's the whole idea that their men may not be buried. One of the things I learned in literature class was the Mark Antony tribute to Julius Caesar and his death. He said, "The good that men die, the good that men do oft is interred in their bones."
It's been 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell.
Okay. Item number 5, administrative report.
Okay, needless to say, it's been busy. We've been working on several things. One of the things that is going to kind of be a long, drawn-out situation is we've been working with the city to develop a new hazardous mitigation plan for the city and also for public schools in our school district. That will enable us to qualify for possible grants for safe rooms that can be converted also to use as classrooms to some extent. We've had a third meeting on that one just since the 1st of August, since the 1st of July, I'm sorry. Another issue we've been working on is to make sure that our insurance coverage has been taken care of, the transfer from one building to the other. There's been some talk on some other ideas as far as the possible renovation of the old high school. Of course, obviously, the bulk of our work has been pointed toward the relocation of our high school students, and I would, if you haven't been down to see it, I would encourage you to go by and see it. It's quite an asset for the people in this community, and there's been a lot of people involved in that. The main person is Ed Lemming, sitting right over there. Without his leadership in planning and contacts, none of this would have been possible. So my hat goes off to Ed. Done a super job. I told Miss Sneed that he kind of fits into their theme at Northwood, Superheroes. He certainly fits in that category. Needless to say, there's been other people involved in it within our community. We've had volunteers from the community. We've had teachers from other buildings. We've had students, the college, the university, the college out here, the foundation, and even the city. None of this could have been completed without the cooperation and help of all these people. So once again, when you see these people that are involved in these different organizations, our government, the college, please give them a pat on the back and tell them a job well done, because it's been a magnificent. People don't believe when I tell them what we've done. And actually, the bulk of that work was done in 7 days. The trim and the finishes have been put on the last couple of days, but the bulk of that work was done in a 7-day period of time, which is amazing. Since this is all taking place, we've talked about renovation. It's almost like architects and financial planners and mold abatement people are coming out of the woodwork. So I've spent quite a bit of time dealing with those people. There's some that, obviously through our RFPs that we'll be considering on that. And so anyway, like I said, that's kind of where we are right now. We're kind of, main thing is to get past tomorrow, which I think we're ready for that. I had an excellent turnout at the other sites on Tuesday night. It's hard to find a parking spot at the high school right now, at the new location right now. If you want to park out by the road, you can probably get a parking spot. So once again, we're excited about this. The kids are excited. So we're looking forward to a great year. That's about all I've got as far as my report, unless you've got some questions that you need me to answer. I'd be glad to answer any of those.
So the paying to park, the kids aren't paying to park, they're paying for a
Parking spot.
parking spot. They don't have to pay to
No.
buy a parking spot.
No, it's a reserved parking space.
Okay,
That'll be paid for and
I was misinformed.
okay. No, there'll be an opportunity for everyone to park. The premier parking spots will be the ones that they'll be selling off, the ones that are closest to the building, I'm sure. The ones in the center aisle versus the ones on the outside aisles. The ones in the center, I'm sure, will be more expensive than the others, but everyone will have an opportunity to park their vehicle.
Any questions? Sounds great. Okay, I think we're ready for principal's reports.
Well,
Oops, sorry. One more?
let me start first, because Mr. Osborne's not here. He's got a house full of people. I said, you stay with your people. And basically, I told him, I said, give me some numbers. I think that's what we're concerned about right now. There's been some talk as far as transfers in and transfers out and how this has been a negative effect on that. So let me give you some numbers here. These came from them today. In August of last year, 2014, we had 52 students that left by way of transfer, and I really don't have these broken down whether they were transfers or moves. This year to date, in August of 2015, we've got 39 people that have left our school district. 31 of those 39 have been legitimate moves to other schools. We've had 8 transfers. In addition to that, we've picked up 17 new students that have come into our school district from other school districts. So I really don't think at this point that there has been a negative impact as far as transfers. We've kind of monitored this all the way through August, and my concern has always been, are we up or down? They said, well, we're not. We haven't transferred any more people out so far than what we normally do. So once again, like I said, out of the 39 that we have left our system, 31 of those were legitimate moves to other school districts.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, Mr. Dean?
Okay, the middle school report will be short. We are very excited about the school starting tomorrow, our back to school night, which some of you got to kind of see part of it when you were here. I thought we had a really good turnout. The building looks great, and our numbers, enrollment right now, we're sitting at about 268 kids. Last year, at the end of the year, we were about mid 250s. So our numbers are up a little bit. As a matter of fact, I've denied 4 transfers this week because I have 145 eighth graders and I have about 123 seventh graders. So those, I can't take any more eighth grade students. We're overflowing. So our numbers are very good. Our transfer students, for 7th and 8th grade, we're about 45 or so. I can't think in both grades. I can't think of any really we've lost this week as far as transferring. But like I said, I have denied 4 just this last week wanting to come into the district. That's the bulk of the middle school report. The thing that I did want to say is with all the changes, the moving of the new school and everything, I just wanted to thank all the principals and teachers and maintenance people. I mean, Ed and the maintenance people are working on the high school, but we also have needs here as well, and the ball hasn't been dropped on any of that. The teachers have pulled together. Everybody's working well and being team players to try to make this all happen, and it's required a tremendous effort from everybody, and I just want to thank all those thank everyone for being team players.
Hello, everybody. We've had a super start. Of course, our theme is superheroes, so we're very excited to get going. Our back-to-school night was a great success. We had people everywhere. It's bittersweet to see our students and see how much they've grown just in a few short months. It's incredible. But I'm confident that our staff is prepared and ready not only for tomorrow, but for the year. I'm going to give you some enrollment numbers, but I also want to share with you some other numbers that I think are equally interesting and very important. I love the opportunity to brag on our staff. I told you in an earlier report that our summer for teachers is filled with a different kind of busy, and they spend a lot of time at professional development. We had 5 teachers that attended Engage Oklahoma at 12.5 hours each. 2 teachers that attended a LAMP training, which is a language app for students that are not verbal. Ag in the Classroom, 2 teachers went to that, which is 7 hours. Oklahoma Economics Council, 6 hours a teacher went. Oklahoma Council for Math Teachers, 7 hours. Care and Prevention of Athletic Injuries, 24 hours. Colonial Williamsburg, which we know is a fabulous opportunity, 43 hours of professional development. STEM in the Classroom through Oklahoma Education and Industry Partnership. One of our teachers was on the front page of the Daily Oklahoman. You could see her in the background. But she, Carol Lloyd and Tawana Reese, spent 32 hours in that training and got to go all over Tinker, Devon, and some other places to learn about how industry and education can partner. Ed Plan, which is our new special education accounting system. We used to have C's, and we had a teacher that attended that for 6 hours, and then he came back and trained all of the special education teachers. That's a total of 238.5 professional development hours just in 2 months. That's an incredible dedication to the profession. I think that's a very significant number. Currently, our enrollment for 4th grade, we have 119. 5th grade is 123, and 6th grade is 131. We're not accepting any transfers either right now. We haven't since we've been back from our June break. And we'll see how the numbers shake out for the next 3 or 4 weeks. That number changes from day to day. We'll get requests for records from other sites. We haven't had that many students transfer out, and the ones that have actually have moved to that district. We haven't had anybody transfer just for the sake of going to another district. We hosted a staff luncheon today to thank all of our elementary teachers and, of course, all of our support personnel for all of their hard work in preparing for tomorrow. Our decoration represents our theme, which is superheroes. Miss Studeville's door says, "I'm a chieftain, what is your superpower?" And I can't think of a more fitting question to reflect on, because as chieftains, we want our students to strive for pride, excellence, and grace as we move through the year. So, cape or no cape, in just a few short hours, the adventure begins. So, wish us luck.
That's a hard act to follow. Mine's a lot shorter. Back to school, very, very busy time of the year. I love school. I loved going to school. I love being part of the school. So this is my very favorite time of the year. My staff has worked extremely hard to get ready, and the classrooms and the building looks magnificent. Everyone, we've got a jungle theme, and our wall right as you walk in has monkeys hanging down, and it says "We don't monkey around." So we're excited to get started. Back to school night was a huge success. We had a lot of parents and students that attended, and everyone was very positive and complimentary of the building and the teachers. Enrollment, last count, I got this from Kelly right before I walked out. In first grade, we have 147 students, second grade 162, and in third grade we have 155. So we have a total of 464 students on the road right now. And I know that will change. It will change tomorrow. We'll have some that will move out, and we'll have some that will move in. So anyway, we're ready to go. We're excited, and we can't wait to greet our students in the morning. Thank you.
Good evening. Well, you get to hear about all of my kindergarten stories all of the time because you know how much I love early childhood. One of the things that's coming tomorrow are all of the tears that come with it, and that's bittersweet. And as a mom of a daughter who is about to go away to college, I'm feeling the other end of that. I know they're feeling because it's the same feeling that I felt when she went to kindergarten. So what's going to happen tomorrow is we are going to not just comfort those children that are crying, but we're also going to comfort those mamas and those stoic dads who act tough, but then we see walk quickly out to the parking lot and cry their eyes out. And those dads too, we know we don't want them, they don't want us rushing out to comfort, but our hearts go out to them as well. But what an adventure to actually get to teach children at their youngest first experiences in school. A lot of people talk about kindergarten, and they talk about, and not that they discount kindergarten, but they maybe don't realize the importance of kindergarten. But when all the talk about soft skills and the importance of soft skills in the workplace and in their careers in the future, those soft skills start with pre-K and kindergarten. That we teach those soft skills, those cooperative skills, working together, those things are so, so vital. In addition, I want to remind everyone that before we leave kindergarten, we read well. And so we've got a lot to do. So after we dry the tears tomorrow, we're going to roll up our sleeves, and we're going to do what we do best, and we're going to build a foundation for Seminole's students. As far as enrollment goes, pre-K, we're at 91 students. Kindergarten, 150. That's 241 total students. Now, last year we were at 258, and we did have to add a 5th pre-K teacher and an 8th kindergarten teacher, and our numbers right now look like we'll have to do the same. We also are not taking kindergarten transfers at all. Pre-K transfers, because we know that we will have to hire a 5th pre-K teacher, we are going to go ahead and reopen taking transfers for the few slots that we have, since we know that hiring a 5th pre-K teacher is inevitable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, facilities and operations report.
Good evening. It's been a nice, quiet summer. Making sure you're awake. I just want to say I appreciate the praise, but you have no idea what kind of staff that we have here until you get in a pinch like that, and everybody pulls together. Everybody has a great attitude, and I just think there's probably nothing we can't accomplish with this group, this attitude, and their work ethic. So I want to say thanks to you guys. I think you probably know most of what's been going on. I hope you've gone up to see the high school and do a walkthrough. We're really proud of all the efforts and what's been done up there. But we've also had a lot of projects going on at the other schools. Some of them we didn't finish until today. So it's been a pretty close deadline. But we're really proud of what all the guys have done. I actually had to run a couple of them off today at 5 o'clock because they wanted to stay and finish some things. So I really appreciate their efforts. I think everything looks pretty good. We've got some projects going on that, we're going to wait for some cooler weather like the stadium seating and things like that. But we've got a lot to do, but we've come a long way and really proud of everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Okay. Item number 8, consider and take necessary action to approve a resolution to designate operating and investment funds and permission to invest.
This is just something, it's an annual housekeeping thing that we do as far as the funds that we have available to make any type of investments that need to take place. I'm not sure what has been done in the past, but I know Kayla's been doing this for quite some time and I have all the confidence in the world that she'll continue to take care of the money properly. So it'd be my recommendation that this be approved.
I move for the approval of the resolution.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy,
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item number 9, consider and take necessary action on a resolution to adopt a Section 125 flexible fringe benefits plan for the employees of Seminole School Districts to be effective on September 1st, 2015.
Once again, this is an annual housekeeping thing that has been in place for a number of years. It gives our employees the ability to tax defer some of the expenses that they might incur during the course of the year. And it can be medical. There's a lot of different things that qualify for that. But anyway, once again, it's just a formality, something we do annually for our school district employees. It's my recommendation that we would approve this.
I make a motion that we approve your recommendation of item 9 on the Section 125 Flexible Fringe Benefits Plan.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item 10, consider and take necessary action to approve the following companies for payroll deductions for the 2015-2016 fiscal year as listed. There's quite a few I want.
Once again, this is something that has been in place for quite some time in the school district all the state. We have certain, our employees have certain things that they're involved in that qualify to be deductions out before, well, it's not before the paycheck is written, but before, but it's actually a deduction that comes out before, as far as all the other deductions, as far as income tax, social security, that type of thing. So once again, it's a formality. It would be my recommendation that we consider or take action to approve these companies for payroll deduction.
I move for the approval of item 10.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item 11, consider and take necessary action to approve the site plan for Wilson BLS reading sufficiency for 2015-2016.
It'd be my recommendation that we table this for right now. I think this thing is probably may need some additional language as far as the time for committee meetings for that particular thing. So my recommendation is to table at this time.
Move to table item 11.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item 12, consider and take necessary action to approve a deregulation for library media specialist at Wilson School.
This happened on last Friday. I was notified and given a letter of resignation for our library media specialist at Wilson Elementary. Due to the timing of that, with You have a couple of options to make adjustments as far as in our curriculum, and I think we have probably at least two ladies that are very qualified for that, but those two ladies also at the present time have a classroom of students that's going to be looking forward to them being there the first day of school. So once again, the consideration for this has nothing to do except for the fact that stability in the classroom. You know, if we move one of those teachers in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or wherever we can find a replacement, then we change the whole format for those kids. And I don't think that's in the best interest for the educational process for those young kids. So it's my recommendation, and we've got a form we need to fill out. I filled it out. It has to have the president of the board's signature on it for a deregulation. This is strictly for the remainder of this year. In the spring, then we'll advertise. We'll do the proper interviews and make a selection for the 16-17 school year. So it'd be my recommendation that the dereg be approved for library media specialists at Wilson Elementary.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy,
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Nikki Upton.
Yes.
Item 13, consider and take necessary action for emergency certification for Christy Creel, 4th grade teacher at Northwood.
Okay, this is, Christy's been, she's not a new person to our school system. She actually did her student teaching here. Actually, it's my understanding that she filled in during the time that her actual teacher that she was student teaching under had some medical issues that she had to attend to. So Christy pretty well took up the ball and ran with it, did an excellent job there. Have an opening here. The only reason for the emergency status is the fact that she still has one test that she hasn't completed. So we've talked to the State Department, and as you heard on the news, they're approving emergency transfers like crazy because of the teacher shortages. So it'd be my recommendation that we take we approve the emergency certification for Christy Creel, 4th grade teacher at Northwood.
Make a motion, we approve the emergency certification for Christy Creel, 4th grade teacher at Northwood.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy,
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Nikki Upton.
Yes.
Item 14, consider and take necessary action to approve school meal prices for 2015-2016.
Okay, I'm not sure this is an annual thing. I don't think you did it last year because I don't think there's any changes in prices. So, but this year there's a change in prices. This is not something that we have any control over. This comes through the federal government and through the state agencies. So there's a little bit of an increase, a change in price there. Even on the adult price, I think it went from $3.25 to $3.50, something like that. So anyway, like I said, we really don't have a whole lot of choice. It's a formality. We need to approve the lunch prices for the 2015-2016 school year.
So moved that we accept your recommendation on item 14.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy,
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole-Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Nikki Upton.
Yes.
Item 15, consider and take necessary action to increase the pay for driving one bus route from $18.29 to $21, and to increase the pay for monitoring one bus route from $7.95 to $8.25.
As most people know, you can go to any school district in the state of Oklahoma. Bus drivers they're a commodity that's just not available. So we need to try to make sure that we take care of our people. This is about, I don't know, a 4 or 5% increase in their pay. We've never had bus monitors before, but when we looked at what was on the schedule from $7.95, $8.25, it'll give us a little bit of extra leeway, I guess, there to maybe attract someone for these positions. But the main thing is we like to keep the bus drivers we got, take care of them. I don't think they've had a raise in several years. This is it's not a drastic, they're not going to be able to go out and buy a new car or anything with this, obviously, but at least I think it's a good gesture on our part to increase their salary. So it'd be my recommendation that we approve these increases for bus route drivers and also for bus monitors.
Make a motion that we approve the superintendent's recommendation and increase the pay for driving one bus route from $18.29 to $21, and the pay for monitoring one bus route from $7.95 to $8.25.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item 16, possible executive session to discuss the employment of those certified and/or non-certified personnel listed in Agenda Item 20 and 21 pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute, Section 307B1. Do we need anybody?
I do not need.
I don't either.
need one.
Okay. Then we shall skip down to item 20. There's a fly up here that won't. Okay, item 20. Consider and take necessary action to approve the superintendent's recommendation to employ the certified, non-certified personnel listed below. 20.1, Patricia Greer, Library Assistant, Wilson School. 20.2, LaDonna Campbell, Special Ed Shadow, BLS.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item 21, consider and take necessary action to approve the following positions. 21.1, Angie Turner, Activity Clerk, Deputy Treasurer. 21.2, Kayla Miller, Treasurer, Deputy Minutes Clerk. 21.3, Kay Lashley, Encumbrance Clerk. 21.4, Ann Biddy, Payroll Clerk, Deputy Encumbrance Clerk, Board Minutes Clerk, and Co-Custodian Activity Fund. 21.5, All School Sites Receiving.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Item 22, New Business.
New business, the only thing I have under new business, I think most of you had an opportunity to look at, this. We've got 2 additional fundraisers that came in after the agenda was posted. Those 2 are, one is for the Seminole football program with the Chieftain cards. I think that's been something that's been an annual thing. And also, the 4-H is sponsoring a back-to-school glow run. The only thing different, it's already been approved, but they're changing the date on that. So it'd be my recommendation that both of these new fundraisers be approved.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion that we approve the fundraisers.
And I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy.
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead.
Yes.
Amy Cole Frazier.
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Mickey Upton.
Yes.
Mr. Weldon, I do have something on new business, just a question. I've been contacted, and I know on Tuesday, we gave you the authority to look into construction managers and financial planning and also architects. And I've received a couple contacts. Do we have an architect here Tuesday at the high school and with people going through high school?
Yes, we did. Actually, Jack had contacted me, I guess it was Monday, that there's an architect firm, AIP, out of Norman, that he wanted to have access to the building for them to look at. We accommodated, Ed and I both accompanied Jack and Amy was there and Jerry. So, and actually there was 2 people, Matt Graves. Matt Graves was one of the architects, and I don't remember what the other young man's name was, one of his partners.
Matt Groves.
Matt Graves and Matt Groves? Well, I guess maybe I'll ask you, Ms. Levy. I mean, I know Amy made in her motion that any of us could make recommendations in this area. I just think it would be nice if we knew ahead of time where all of us, we could post an agenda and all of us would have an opportunity to also attend. And, I mean, do we have any reports? Was there any fee for this?
As far as I know, there's no fee as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know of any fee. And there's no report. I don't know what.
So who contacted instead of the architect?
I had a local resident who's good friends with Mr. Groves, not Matt,
Okay.
not Matt, but the other Matt. and have just encouraged me to contact him, and had been encouraging me to do that for a long time, and I finally did, and they wanted to come see the building, and I said, I'll see if I can arrange it, and I contacted Mr. Weldon.
So are they gonna be making a proposal, you think? Or they just wanted to see the building?
Just wanted to see the building, and no one's making a proposal.
I mean, I don't know, all I know is, like I said, Jackie contacted me to have the building available for an architect firm to look at. And I think at that time, he did indicate it was AIT.
Well, in the past, when we've had an opportunity, like for instance, when we had the open house and we, last year, it was made, the comment was made that it'd be nice to post an agenda, that way everyone could attend, and I certainly wouldn't expect to attend every meeting that you had with an architect or any professional, but if board members are able to attend, it doesn't seem fair for one or two to be able to go and the rest of us not go, and that's why we stayed home at the open house last.
Would that be true of Ms. Willis meeting with the city manager or city employees or people like that? I mean, would that be true of any of those meetings?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, are we trying to restrict one another's ability to discuss anything with anyone else anywhere at any time? I wasn't conducting school business, and as far as I'm concerned.
If you're talking about Steve, I'm on Urban Renewal, and I have met with Steve.
Oh, I think there was a time last school year, the year before that, and it wasn't just Miss Willis, it was Miss Willis and I went and met with the city manager.
Yeah.
And I didn't,
Well, there's been meetings in the past too, with Chris
there's
Lilly
nothing
and
wrong-
different places,
And again, there's nothing wrong with that, just like there was nothing wrong. This architecture firm, there's a city resident that's very good friends with the guy and had been encouraging me to call him, and I finally did. And they just wanted to come look at the building.
That's fine, we talked about architects in the meeting that evening, so I thought that I was contacted by a couple of citizens that knew and asked me about it, and so I'm asking.
Is there a way that, just to make it fair to everyone, that I understand, Mickey, if you're working, it might be hard if they come during the day. I just didn't know if there would be a way, if a person was going to come and one or two, or, obviously there couldn't be 3 board members there, might be giving information out that we'd all find, informative. It'd be nice to have that opportunity to go, would be the only thing. Kind of impromptu.
If they were just looking at it, there was no information given.
I think Mr. Weldon could attest to the fact no information was given out.
Okay, they were just looking around.
Yeah.
Well, if there is a meeting where it looks like they would be informing us,
For
would
me,
we do a
and I'll
special meeting?
when, like the action taken Tuesday night, we were supposed to, if we had like nominations or whatever,
Sure.
let Mr. Weldon know, and I had been, my profession, this firm has done a lot of work in school business, and also they've built new county courthouses, they've done remodeling of county courthouses that I practice in regularly, and
Is that who did Ada's when we went
they
there
did.
to
They built a new
visit?
courthouse in Poto, and then they built the Chickasha High School. They're about to build the new Tuttle High School, and they've done other renovation projects. And so I've been impressed with some of their work. So I gave Mr. Weldon. And Mr. Weldon knows his dad real well.
Well, in AIP, I've been involved in several projects that they've been in. They do quality work, and there's nothing wrong. But the only thing, if we're gonna do this to the extent what Ms. Levy's talking about, just remember, we've got to have a 48-hour notice.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep transparency going. Mickey, you've mentioned that several times.
So I wasn't there when the mold remediation guys were there, but I don't expect to be.
No, I don't either.
No, I'm not
And
talking
I wasn't there when other things were there.
Were we?
I don't expect to be there and be told when Channel 4 is going to be there either. So
But
it's
would
all,
you
it's
like
all.
the opportunity to go, like if somebody was
that
going?
list I sent you guys, I'm not recommending
Yeah,
those
right,
people.
it's just-
That's just a list I accumulated because
Right.
I saw other board issues being done. And I'm not saying we
I
should
want-
choose any of them. I was just saying if we're sitting on an RFP,
Right.
here's some ones that I know I have done work and recently. So
I just feel like it needs to go through Mr. Weldon, and
well, it
Mr.
did,
Weldon
didn't
was
it?
there.
yeah.
Yes, I contacted Mr.
Okay.
Weldon. And I don't think he did high school.
Well, of course not, but I mean, as far as giving the tour instead of a board member, if that.
Well, I just didn't know what it was.
Mr. Lemmings.
You did, you all did the tour, okay. I don't know, I wasn't there. And I know there's been meetings in the past that I wasn't included in and didn't know about till after the fact, and that was a long time ago. You find out later and go, oh, it just feels odd as a board member, So,
Well, I
especially when we're
understand.
dealing with, I mean, that wasn't a big deal, I understand completely. I was just, as we're moving forward, I don't want anybody, I think we just need to follow the correct, sequence. And maybe if it does look like it might be something that board members might want to participate in, if they wanted to come and talk to us, and we should call a special meeting. I would think any of us would want to go to that, and so you might send out an email to see if we're interested or something. I mean, I'm not trying to take any formal action. I just really want all of us to be very transparent about, I'd appreciate it. I'd want,
And I was,
give you the same courtesy.
I mean, see, for me, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but I mean, I think it needs to go a little broader than that. So like when the city manager contacts a board member and wants to meet, like when Ms. Willis and I went with the city manager and some department heads, it's back when Mr. Lemmings was the department
Right.
head, we need to notify all board members.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't
I mean,
think
I
it's
would think-
necessary.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
if
still
we're gonna
private
do, yeah.
citizens, when we're not in a forum.
Right. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't talking about every time you want to go talk to somebody in town. I mean, that's.
Yeah, and some of us serve
Yeah.
on other
Right.
boards and other
Right,
committees, and,
right.
and they don't
I'm
overlap.
talking about services that we
But
might be.
I was asked if they were here, to make plans for the renovation of the high school. That's what I was asked. And I don't know if there were people in the building or what, but that's what I was asked, so.
I mean,
We had teachers in the building, we had maintenance people in the building, so
Okay.
it wasn't just
yeah.
we weren't by ourselves.
Because I certainly won't be there for every architect and every that you interview and don't expect to be.
And I wouldn't, that's not what
Yeah,
my
but-
intention was at all. It was just to give everyone an opportunity if it was gonna, and maybe that's not necessary, but I just want it there to be, maybe we should be notified if somebody, I don't know. It just,
I mean, if a patron talks to us about an issue or asks us to visit with them, I don't think that we need to notify every board member, because there could be some confidential issues. But I just was asked about, since it was an architect, and I guess someone overheard that, so that's what I was asked. So that's why I'm asking the question.
So Central Sheet Metal, we paid them $8,400 so they could do something at the high school. I didn't get notified on that. That's fine. Bill did that, and they took the action. That's good.
No,
I'm not
I'm not
talking
talking
about
about
him.
that.
Talking about if another board member goes along, or maybe two, and then if you wanted to go along, you couldn't because it wasn't a special meeting, because you can't have three together.
Sure.
That's all I'm talking about. Not like I want to be at every single thing. I mean, that's not what I'm suggesting. But we need to let Mr. Weldon do that. That is his job. I don't know that, I mean, I'm not trying to say that's wrong for you to be there. It's just that, or Amy, but if I went to something and didn't tell you, you might have wanted to go
Well,
too.
and I met
Because
with
they heard it
Mr.
was an
Weldon this
architect.
afternoon at his office. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
And that
No,
doesn't
no,
bother
no.
me.
I'm talking about people that we might be hiring as
I
a
think
service
that's
for
what
the
was
high school.
misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah, not every
And I
time you talk.
I don't know that they're even going to submit anything.
Yeah, I mean, this was someone that a patron contacted me about. It turned out Mr. Weldon knows the guy's dad really well, and if I would have known that, I probably would have just said, call Mr. Weldon, he knows your dad really well. But I didn't know that at the time, so.
So you were just making the introduction, whatever. Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
just throwing it out there. So just
So,
want to be considerate of
Something I
each
should
other.
say a little bit along that vein. I blind copied you guys on these emails every time, and you're probably sick of getting emails from me. But I'm not asking you to take an action. I'll send it to
Right.
Bill.
It's information.
Okay, so you don't even have to read it if you don't want to. But I'm telling you that I'm communicating with our superintendent, and you're
Right.
just CC'd on the
That's
deal.
fine.
I'm communicating with.
Right, and we're not supposed to answer
I know
that.
that some of them
Right,
I've sent
yeah.
are rather long, and I know
Right.
they have attachments and everything else, but I'm not
That's
I'm not
helpful.
expecting that you, it's
You're
just like
good.
56 pages, and I'm like, well, here you go. So,
But that's very
we all
open.
can
That's
do
I
that's
just
very
wanted to make sure
transparent.
that-
That's all. I'm just.
yeah, I'm not doing that for,
No. I totally understand that. Anyway, just food for thought, I guess.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Kay Levy,
Yes.
Jack Cadenhead,
Yes.
Wendy Hall Frazier,
Yes.
Claudia Willis.
Yes.
Nikki Apple.
Yes.
You said you were-
Hey,